y'all know I'm a big history buff. I love to study the ancients.
Yeah, you like the chisme.
Damn.
And it's like drama,
chisme.
right? But I always wanted to ask you guys a question because I always fantasize this all the time. But what era would you live in? If you could live in any fucking era.
The question is, can I choose my race?
Yeah, because that's what's gonna.
We're getting kind of dark here.
Backwards.
No, like obviously because it's gonna be
Well, I want to be part of the Aztec tribe for sure.
Really?
I want to go back there.
Dude,
yeah,
yeah, they're fucking dope.
We were kicking ass. Until
before the Europeans came and made you sick.
Exactly.
Right
like
before
human
that.
sacrifices and stuff.
Hey, that's not. I mean,
I would
we
watch
had
it.
to do
This
what we
looks
had to
pretty
do.
dope.
And they played soccer game of death.
I'm royalty.
She's taking it with honor.
Oh, you be royalty. Oh, I see. I see.
So
would
you
be
could change.
honorable.
You could change your gender. You could change your race. You could change anything. You just fucking implant yourself anytime. You could be a
Renaissance.
fucking dinosaur if you want to be.
Renaissance.
It smells bad during the
Renaissance
You're
man.
used to it. Yeah, hell yeah. Just
Wait, are you
poetry,
going-
fighting,
your mindset
going to
is
gladiator.
Renaissance era. I don't even know what.
Then fine, I'll be a cockroach.
All the Ninja Turtles existed.
Are you saying we teleport there with our minds now or no?
Yeah, Donatello,
Like
when all those guys were
almost like
alive.
medieval, like stuff like that.
Right after
the change.
medieval.
Yeah, like the change into
Leonardo.
modern.
So wait, it doesn't have to be real anymore because you just said it could be a dinosaur.
Well, I mean that's an era.
Dinosaurs are real.
Be a dinosaur.
What are you talking about?
No wait,
Are you thinking of dragons?
that's not what I meant.
Could be an animal. I want to be a tiger, like 100 years
Dinosaurs
ago.
are real, but I thought he meant like as ourselves and go
I
back.
added that. No, because he asked about the race thing, so I was like, well, okay, I guess it wouldn't
Well, I'm
be
not
so
gonna be a dinosaur.
cool.
I know how it
Yeah.
ends. I'm not gonna be a dinosaur.
But you also know how Aztecs end. Just choose right before that.
Aztecs, I think, got it worse than dinosaur. I'd rather have a meteor crash into my fucking planet and I
That's
just
what
die.
you believe.
Well,
I thought that's what happened.
no, didn't they die really slowly? Because then the skies blacked out and all the vegetation died.
See, I thought it was a slow, fucking drawn out death.
Well, would you rather have smallpox because the dirty Europeans came and coughed on you?
I'd rather be here now.
Yeah, I like now.
Like now.
Oh, you guys.
Gotta play the game.
I did play the game, but then you guys flipped it on me, and I'm like, fuck, I
But
don't
it's
want
better
that.
when you don't know what's gonna happen. Or
Okay,
what-
Aztec.
Okay, what if you're the Aztec and
We
you
look
live?
dope. You see our fucking head, our feather headdress, or like fucking the way we're dressed. We look sick. I'm
Which is
about
cool
it.
too. But I would rather go in history.
I would choose future.
Okay, history, because there's something we can actually.
Somewhere,
What
okay,
if we
and you
survive
can
this
choose.
virus?
You could choose, like it's, and you know everything that you know now, right? So, but you could choose your race, your gender, your position, whatever.
See, you know everything you know now, which means when you went to the Renaissance era, you know that it smells bad. Because you know what cleanliness smells
Okay, but
like.
it's like you're shitting, right? When you first shit, it smells bad, but then you get used to it
As you
because
sit in the bathroom longer.
You, of all people, smelling shit, you're not gonna last.
I picture this fool like with the.
Oh, he's sensitive to smell.
Sensitive. Dude, we played a JK Party episode where we're shooting shit in his mouth. You're shooting your own spitball into his mouth and you threw up.
yeah, that was nasty. No, I threw up when Dimas drank. Everyone spit.
No, you threw up when your ball went into his mouth.
That was
yeah.
disgusting,
That was nasty
dude.
as shit. And it was
You're not gonna make it in the Renaissance.
No,
I never want to play fucked up birthday ever again.
I'm just thinking of like watching people
I
fight.
don't. No, I don't.
The cool poetry, getting drunk off wine and stuff.
Because I feel
The
like Renaissance
whorehouses.
isn't as bad as medieval. Medieval is when it was.
Yeah, if you want to see some people fight and get their heads chopped off, you should go to like the gladiator era.
That's some
But I feel like the
Roman shit.
The Renaissance is like a good balance of both. 'Cause
Yeah.
you still had that, but you also had the lovey-dovey like era of like.
What the fuck was that?
That's the romantic one.
No, man, like, I'm not gonna give you a shitty situation where it's like, yeah, you could choose any era, but you're a slave in that era. You know, it's like, why would I wanna go there? What the fuck? You're like, yeah, you get to be a part of the Mongols, but guess what? You're a sex slave to the Genghis Khan tribes, you know? Like,
So it's Nadeem just making love all over again.
Dude, whorehouses would be dope.
Dude, Game of Thrones.
what though? Have you seen what ancient girls look like?
They don't shave, bro.
Only if they look like the chicks in Game of Thrones. Like if they look like that.
I'm sure they have hot. Well, because back then they also thought thicker women were like the more ideal, and that's what everyone favored, and that's what the
And you
time.
like thicker women?
That's true.
Back then I would.
Wait, no.
Have you seen the nude, like, statues, like, you know, like the old school Roman and
Yeah.
Greek and shit? Like,
That's what healthy was.
yeah,
is.
they just look like normal girls today.
Yeah.
Right? But they're not, to me, they're not like Insta models.
But they got the little pouch. You ever notice like they?
Yeah, they got that.
Because
love-
they eat good.
Yeah. That's
They
true.
eat good. The diet was carbs.
But the guys didn't change much. The
Yeah, they look
ideal
fucking
guy.
jacked.
Yeah.
That's a good.
What happened? Why did that happen?
What do you mean?
Why do the guys look jacked and the women are they're not jacked? I don't like that.
Oh, some of the girls are jacked.
Oh.
Like in the pictures.
Is that how you
I mean, on the
That's what I was thinking too when I saw his face. Ah, you want some of me? Eh?
I'm only mentioning this because I went to a museum recently in Europe, and then I was like, damn, the women, like the Greek statue, like women, they're fucking strong looking too, and they got nice titties. So I was like, damn, but they're more boxy. They don't have the hourglass, like hour times body that we find ideal in women. Like they're more like SpongeBob SquarePants kind of rectangular.
Yeah, they got the pouch. They got a little bit more going on right here. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would
You're not a
choose
fan
like.
of the pouch?
No, not a fan of the pouch.
I feel like I would choose maybe like the 40s. 50s, just because I can still, because my mind now is going there. And I can still relate a lot more with like the music and like the art and all these things I can enjoy. I'm not listening to some classical music shit from back in whenever, you know, or like
Have you heard the
them playing
Aztec
harp.
music though? That shit goes off. That shit slaps.
How's it go?
sound?
Tell me.
How
me.
does it sound?
Enlighten me.
I need the drums. I can't do it without the drums.
Hand her some drums.
Oh, that's what I would like to do is go back in the day and hear the music, because we don't have any like written record or whatever. Like the classical music we had, you know, it's all written and people can still play it today. But past that, what did they sound like? I'm fucking curious, man.
Okay, so like now if you go back, right, and you know the stuff you know today, would you try to like influence art and like teach them how to do stuff, or like teach them how to clean and bathe? Or
I would take full fucking advantage, dude. I would like make them think I'm a god.
how?
Using magic tricks and shit.
Like what?
Like what?
Well, like I would learn magic.
Are you gonna bring your?
So learn magic first and then.
Then I'll time
You
that.
gonna pull a quarter out of their ear?
Magic tricks. I could predict what's gonna happen because like the era and shit, and like I could be like Nostradamus. Yeah.
You're like Caesar? He's gonna get fucked up, guys. I'm telling
Yeah.
you. It's gonna happen.
I don't think you're gonna live very long.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, he's a witch and burn him!
What's the guy that would go and entertain the king? Like the
Jester?
Jester. I feel like it would be that.
Yo, I learned some shit about
Playing
the
the
jester,
pianos.
dude.
What happened?
What I realized is those guys are fucking okay. There's a lot of shit that we don't know about them, and it's like
Are they
we
like
just
a
think they're
race?
just a bunch of jokers, right? But they were the only ones that were allowed to talk shit to the king to their face. So, but they were so good like at comedy that they were allowed to do it funny, and they can't be killed. So they could criticize the king, they could do that, and then the king would actually ask the gestures all the time for real advice because everybody around him was afraid to be killed and all that stuff. And then the jester could just be like, man, you fucking up. People don't like you. And then they'll make a joke out of it, they'll make a song out of it, they'll parody
King's like,
and
ah,
shit.
good joke.
Yeah, dude. And what's crazy is sometimes these guys will be, it's like, it's so weird because they'll be taken into battle, right?
Wearing the thing in their neck?
Those guys were called fools.
What?
Yeah, so the gesture that we see with the fucking goofy ass hat and
Yeah,
whatever,
they have the bells.
they're called fools.
Oh, what's a gesture then?
Gesture is like, well, today we
Like a comedian?
Yeah, he's like a court jester. Like he's like he knows how to entertain. He's like
like
a
an MC.
comedian. He's an MC. He breaks bad news to the king.
Oh.
So
Like a funny way.
yeah, in a funny way.
Your wife died.
That's great.
My lord, I have bad news.
You sound
Your
like
wife
Joe
died. Yeah, and they would go to the battlefield and they gave strategic advice sometimes.
Who the fuck are these people?
They're like a fucking. To me, I think they're guys that tell the truth, or like they're funny, but they can tell the truth, and then they give it to you straight. But then they have a lot of
Sounds
tact
like a
and
wife.
social skills, without hurting your feelings.
Sounds like a wife.
And then so some of these guys, they're morale boosters too. So they'll be taken into battle, and some of them would ride in front of the army, so they could it as a mental tactic to fuck with the other crew. like, hey, this clown's riding at the front. They're not afraid of you. And then the clown would just talk shit. So they will roast.
I would love that. Just talk shit.
Yeah.
I'll be
They're
afraid
roasting
though,
they're roasting the other army, right? And they're talking shit because what they're hoping is the emotional soldiers that are like out of control would break the line.
Hey man, that's not cool.
Don't talk about my mom.
I'm gonna kick your ass,
You
bro.
can only do that at a time where they didn't have cannons and like
Yup.
stuff that they can shoot far.
Yeah.
You get scoped out really
Yup,
quick.
they're just
you know?
like, fuck this fool. But I was like, damn, because I thought court jesters were a bunch of dumb little jokers. And then when I found out the history about it, I was like, yo, that's not a bad gig.
How'd you find out the history?
So is that what you want to do now?
Because I watch a lot of history shit, right? So they're like the real role of a jester.
Nothing pops up for me like that.
Like when you're watching YouTube, right? Don't they have like
Recommended?
recommended? Yeah. So like the real role of a jester and shit. And I was like, dude, I'd take that job all day. And then if you're really good at what you do, you get a mansion, you get your own servants.
What the fuck?
And then all you do is work on your comedy stand-up gig and all that
Well,
stuff
and your
all year.
strategic planning.
You're like, dog, I'm gonna roast
do
the
that
kid
too.
tonight.
Yeah.
It's like a whole roast you're planning.
What is this YouTube channel? It's called Fake History, and you just learned everything from there.
It's just on drunk history.
That sounds wild.
That shit is wild. Yeah, I'm learning a lot of fun shit though, but I wish what I can do is like, you know how like we can play Sims, right? We could create all these characters. I wish I can have like the power to go, all right, today I want to be a Mongol. Today I want to be like, you know, in the Tang dynasty or some shit. Or like I want to be one of the guys that work for Catherine the Great or whatever.
Oh, it's like Westworld.
Yeah,
You get
that'd
to
be
like kind of
sick.
go into a theme park where you actually transport it there and actually like live the life.
That would be amazing.
We'll get there. It sounds like in the next 5 years, some shit's really gonna pop off.
Time traveling?
Or at least the Westworld experience.
Time traveling. I want to do real time
Time traveling while changing your gender and your race.
Wow, that's amazing.
In the next 5 years, that's crazy.
Like Ready Player One style, like that.
Oh,
Like that one
that.
fucking Altered Carbon. Remember that?
I
On
only saw
Netflix?
like a little bit of
Oh.
It was okay.
it. We're all judging his face.
Shut down.
Fucking Nadeem.
The first season was
It kind of sucked.